Hey there everyone! Today I'm going to show off a process that here at Thoughtful GPT we call lead toasting, which is essentially the practice and craft of writing hyper-personalized messages to hundreds of people in one fell swoop using this same AI strategy. We'll start with our AI assistant who can help us source candidates, and I'll take you through the entire process that we use to do this for our own teams and outreach. So with that, I'll just go ahead and share my screen. Okay, so here is the Thoughtful GPT platform. This is actually a new feature we just released a few days ago, and I am going to attach an overview of a role that I'm helping a friend of mine source some candidates and leads for. This friend has a startup that's in the finance industry, and so what you can see here is I uploaded that description. I'm messaging my assistant with an ask for help. All I have to do is click Run Assistant, and that assistant will go look at hundreds of different sources to find me the top 10 candidates or people to reach out to that might be a good fit for, in this case, beta testing this new application. So I'm going to actually ask my assistant really quickly for this data in a CSV format so that I can upload it into my lead toaster spreadsheet. And here we go. Click Run Assistant. And it'll hopefully grab us. Let's see. Yeah, nice clean CSV data set. Perfect. So I'm going to copy this and take it over into our lead toaster template, where I actually have, I think, around 240 leads to reach out to that I've sourced from different places already. But in the spirit of just using a diversity of sources, I'll take these top 10 people to reach out to as well. And so let's see, let me open up the toaster. Okay. So as you can see here, this is a bunch of raw data. I'm pasting the leads into the spreadsheet. Fits nice and simply here, but this represents people from a wide variety of companies. I'll open up my next tab called Toast 1, where I'm going to prepare my messaging framework using our smart toasting macros. So you can see here on the right-hand side, I'm picking our toasting macro group from the widget where I have some of my best macros stored. And I did these in advance. I'll make sure to post another video about how to make spreadsheet toasting macros because they are pretty cool and powerful. But what you can see here, let me open up the prompt. I'm giving the AI a little bit of context in terms of who I am, what I'm reaching out about. I'm also referencing data points in different parts of the cells, as well as I have one or two smart AI macro commands that will actually go out and fetch external context about these leads that I'm reaching out to. I'm going to really quickly prepare and count the number of rows and columns that I want to have the AI use. And it's as simple as queuing up the process, A plus B equals C, then fetching the results from the line. And after reviewing all of these and spot checking the messaging, it looks like everything seems to be working pretty well. So after I ran that test, I'm going to queue up the process again with all of the rows from the data set. And we'll just make sure to check that all of the process has queued up. And this is actually where I'll usually wait for a second. Yeah, okay, I need it. I'll have a coffee break because it might take a few minutes for the batch to cook. But as I'm waiting, again, I'm spot checking and reviewing the entirety of these messages to make sure that they're effective and have the impact that I want to achieve here with this outreach campaign. They all look pretty good. So I'm going to fetch and hopefully it's fully done. Okay, awesome. So now I have 250 toasted emails And I'm going to actually ask another AI bot to go in and help me read and do a quick spam check on all of these emails, since we do want them to hit the inbox. So I'm going to head back to my toasting group, grab my spam check macro, and you can see here I've put in, a bunch of keywords to scan for and give a score. In this case, I actually only want the AI to read one column, and I'm going to actually have Claude go police the work that GPT-4 did previously. So we'll click queue up process A plus B equals C. And Claude instance actually really fast, so we'll just fetch the results. Awesome. Okay, so now in the prompt, I actually asked the AI to give me a score between 0 and 1. I'm going to use our AI to help me write a formula to extract that score. And sure enough, it looks like it's working. And so with that, I will go ahead and just drag this formula across the entire column. And I'm going to filter out the data points that are above a 5, because those are the ones that I want to go pay attention to and look at. So after reading what the AI has to say about these messages, I feel they're pretty tolerable. So I'm going to move on to my second toasted message, which is a follow-up message from this first message I sent out. We'll grab that prompt again. You can see I'm pulling in a couple of different dimensions, including reviewing their website, taking a couple of these attributes in. I'm looking into their tools. Okay, I'm going to ask and quickly count the number of columns I want the AI to read. And as always, it's good to run a good, clear, clean test. But for this use case, I'm just going to go ahead and do a big one fell swoop to save some time. I'm just double checking again that all the columns are lined up. We're going to queue up A plus B equals C. I'll take a sip of my tea while we're waiting for this to cook. Depending on how long the batch is, I'll sometimes get up, walk around the block, walk my dog. But because it's a smaller data set, only 250 rows for this demo, I was able to get this to cooperate pretty quickly. So now, looking at all these messages and reading them through, I'm pretty pleased with how the results are turning out. Most likely because I've tested these prompts several times in advance and used them on multiple toasters. I know how these macros really behave. But it's always good to just double check and have the AI also jump in and keep a couple of other perspectives in the loop. So we'll run another spam check. Queuing up the process and then fetching the results. And like before, I'll actually go grab the formula from the Toast 1 tab, and I'm going to paste that in, filter out, and go take a look at all of the scores that are higher than 5, and just review them to make sure that the risk is tolerable. And these all seem to be helpful points of feedback from the AI, but nothing glaring that I would be concerned about. And now for the last check, we call this a coherence check. We want to make sure that all of the messages fit together in a sequence, and also that the AI doesn't do any of this hallucination stuff that I'm sure you've probably heard about. And so this is a prompt actually that we've written that's specific to this campaign. We want to make sure that it's writing from my voice, that I'm the CEO here at Thoughtful GPT, that I'm helping out a friend of mine. Want to make sure that the AI doesn't get confused and think that I've met these people before. And so we're going to run, again, another check across this whole data set and queue up the final results in a link. Awesome. And now we're going to use our handy formula that I've pasted in already. I'm actually going to go look for the zeros because that means that the process failed. And after reading a couple of these bits of feedback, again, looks tolerable overall. And so with that, our data is all clean and ready to be uploaded straight into our toasting tool, whether you use Apollo or Salesforce or any CRM that supports a mail merge sequence. These messages and the data points from the messages can be re-uploaded back into that system. Hope this is helpful. Really excited. If there's any feedback that you might have, questions, please let us know. But with that, hope you have a great rest of your day. Thanks.